This is Aries Stories, stories for the quiet hours, when the world feels just slightly out of place, and something else begins to settle in. Tonight's story is called The Platform That Only Appears at Night. The last train doesn't stop at my station. Not officially. If you check the schedule, if you ask anyone who works the line, they'll tell you the same thing. Service ends at 11:42. After that, the tracks are empty. I didn't question it. Not at first. It was just one of those things you accept, without thinking too much about. Trains stop. Lights go out. The city gets quieter. But a few weeks ago, I missed the last train. It wasn't anything unusual. Stayed out too late. Lost track of time. By the time I reached the station, the entrance was still open, but empty. No staff, no announcements, just the low hum of electricity, running through something unseen. The platform lights were still on. That was the first thing that felt off. They're usually dimmed after service ends, left in that half-lit state that tells you nothing else is coming. But that night, they were bright. Too bright. I remember checking the time. 11:58. Well past the last train. I should have left. Called a ride. Walked home. But instead, I waited. I don't know why. There wasn't a sign, no announcement, just the quiet feeling that something hadn't finished yet. The tracks were still. No vibration, no distant sound, nothing to suggest a train was coming. And then, the display board flickered. It didn't turn on. It didn't update. It just shifted. For a moment, the blank screen held something else. Something that looked like text, but not long enough to read. Then it went dark again. I stood there longer than I meant to. The station didn't feel empty anymore. Not exactly. It felt occupied. The sound came slowly, not loud, not sudden, just a low vibration, threading its way through the rails. A train was coming. I stepped closer to the edge of the platform, peering into the tunnel. There were no lights at first, just darkness. Then, gradually, a faint glow appeared. The train emerged without sound, not the usual rush of air, not the mechanical grind of brakes, just movement. It slowed as it approached, perfectly aligned, like it had always been meant to stop there. The doors slid open. No one stepped out. I hesitated. Something about it felt wrong. Not dangerous, just out of place. Like a moment happening, slightly before it should. I looked inside. And that's when I saw it. Someone sitting near the window, still, watching. It took a second to understand what I was seeing. Because it was me. Not similar, not close, exact. Same clothes, same posture, same expression I hadn't realized I was wearing. I didn't move, neither did it. We just looked at each other. And then, slowly, it stood up. The movement was slightly delayed, like it was copying me, but a fraction too late. It stepped toward the door. Toward me. I felt my body tense, but I couldn't step back, couldn't look away. When it reached the doorway, it stopped. And for the first time, it smiled. Not wide, not unnatural, just enough to feel wrong. Then it spoke. "You're early." The voice was mine, but quieter, like it had been used too often. "I missed the train," I said, though I wasn't sure why. It tilted its head slightly. "No," it said, "you didn't." The lights above flickered, once, twice. And in that brief shift, the station looked different. Longer, wider, like it extended beyond where it should. I glanced down the platform. There were others now. Figures standing at intervals, perfectly still, facing the train. I hadn't heard them arrive. I looked back, but the version of me was closer now, standing just inside the doorway. "Do you remember the first time?" it asked. I shook my head. "That's normal," it said softly. Another flicker. And for a moment, I saw something I hadn't before. The train wasn't empty. Every seat was filled with people who looked exactly like the ones on the platform. Still, waiting, watching. "You don't come here by accident," it said. My chest tightened. "Then why am I here?" It didn't answer right away. Instead, it stepped back slightly, just enough that its reflection caught in the glass behind it. For a moment, there were two of us, perfectly aligned. Then it said, "Because you're already waiting." The words settled into something deeper than sound. And suddenly, I understood. Not all at once, but enough. The nights I couldn't remember. The strange sense of familiarity. The quiet pull toward this place. I hadn't arrived. I had been coming here for a long time. I just